Have you ever imagined a lake so hot it could cook an egg in minutes? It sounds like something from a wild adventure story. But these places are real. They exist in hidden corners of our planet where the ground itself seems alive. These aren't your average swimming spots. No, these are nature's own giant, steaming kettles, bubbling away with incredible heat. You can see the steam rising from miles away, a ghostly warning sign. It's a sight that fills you with both awe and a healthy dose of fear. Standing near one is like standing next to a dragon's breath, a raw display of the Earth's untamed power. It's a reminder that we are just small visitors in a world full of immense and powerful forces. These incredible lakes are a true test of survival and a spectacle of geology. They are found in places where the Earth's crust is thin, where a fiery heart beats just beneath the surface. Our first stop is the island of Dominica in the Caribbean, a place they call the Nature Isle. And for good reason. It's covered in thick, impenetrable rainforest, towering mountains and hundreds of rivers. But deep within this jungle, paradise lies something truly formidable, the world's second largest boiling lake. Getting there is a brutal challenge, a true test of endurance. The hike is over 8 miles long, a relentless slog up and down steep, muddy slopes. You have to cross treacherous rivers and scramble over slippery rocks, with the jungle canopy blocking out the sun. The trail takes you through a place ominously named the Valley of Desolation. The name says it all. The lush green jungle suddenly gives way to a barren, alien landscape. The ground is stained with yellow, red, and gray minerals leaking from the earth. As you get closer, the sound begins. It's a low, constant rumble, the sound of 1,000,000 gallons of water churning at a furious boil. Then, you see it. Through a final gap in the rocks, the boiling lake appears. It's a massive cauldron, over 200 feet wide, filled with grayish-blue water that is violently bubbling. So, how does an entire lake get hot enough to boil? It's not magic. It's pure raw geology at work. The secret lies deep beneath our feet. The Earth's crust, the solid ground we stand on, isn't one solid piece. It's broken up into massive plates that are constantly shifting. In some places, like along the edges of these plates or over hot spots, the crust is thinner. This allows the intense heat from the Earth's mantle, a layer of molten and semi-molten rock called magma, to get much closer to the surface. The process itself is surprisingly simple, like a giant natural plumbing system. Rainwater and groundwater are the key ingredients. This water seeps down into the ground, trickling through cracks and porous rocks, sometimes traveling for miles underground. As it gets deeper, it gets closer to the magma chamber lurking below. Eventually, this superheated water needs to escape. It finds its way back to the surface through fissures and vents in the rock. As it rises, the pressure decreases and the water violently flashes into steam and boiling water. It erupts into a crater or a volcanic depression on the surface, filling it up to create a boiling lake. The constant supply of newly heated water from below keeps the lake at a rolling boil, day and night. You might think that a place as extreme as a boiling lake would be completely devoid of life, a toxic, scalding environment where nothing could possibly survive. But nature is tougher and more resilient than you can imagine. While you won't find any fish swimming in the boiling water or birds taking a bath, the areas immediately surrounding these lakes are home to some of the toughest organisms on Earth. These are the extremophiles, tiny microscopic creatures that are masters of survival. They thrive in conditions that would be instantly fatal to almost any other form of life. It's a lesson in how life adapts and finds a way, even in the harshest of places. On the cooler edges of the lake, where the water is merely scalding hot instead of boiling, and on the mineral-stained ground nearby, you can find mats of colorful bacteria and archaea. These are some of the oldest life forms on our planet. They get their energy not from the sun, but from the chemicals in the volcanic water, a process called chemosynthesis. They feast on sulfur and other minerals, creating vibrant patches of red, orange, yellow, and green against the gray rock. For larger animals and plants, the story is different. The immediate vicinity of a boiling lake is a no-go zone. The steam is toxic, the ground is unstable, and the water is deadly. Despite the danger, these areas are not entirely barren. Just a short distance away from the immediate hazard zone, the unique ecosystem continues. Birds might nest in the nearby cliffs, taking advantage of the warmth and the lack of predators who are unwilling to venture too close. Now let's fly halfway across the world to New Zealand, a country famous for its dramatic landscapes and geothermal activity. Here, in the Waimangu Volcanic Rift Valley, we find another giant, Frying Pan Lake, or Waimangu Cauldron. This isn't just any hot lake, it's officially the largest hot spring in the world. It covers a staggering 38,000 square meters, which is roughly the size of 5 football fields. The lake fills a crater that was blasted open during the massive eruption of Mount Tarawera in 1886, one of New Zealand's most powerful and destructive volcanic events. Unlike Dominica's boiling lake, Frying Pan Lake doesn't have a constant, violent boil across its entire surface. Instead, its surface simmers with bubbles of carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide gas constantly rising, making it look like a gigantic pan of water just about to boil. The water temperature is more stable, averaging around 122 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, or 50 to 60 degrees Celsius. While that's not a rolling boil, it's still dangerously hot enough to cause severe burns in seconds. Visiting Frying Pan Lake is a different experience from the trek in Dominica. Well-maintained trails and boardwalks allow you to get safely close to the action. You can walk alongside the steaming lake, marvel at the bubbling vents, and see the incredible blue of another nearby wonder, Inferno Crater Lake, whose water level rises and falls in a mysterious 38-day cycle. Every extreme environment has its stories, and boiling lakes are no exception. These are tales of caution, of awe, and of incredible survival. The guides who lead treks to Dominica's boiling lake have seen it all. One of the most common stories they share is about the lake's unpredictability. In 2004, without warning, the lake drained completely, leaving behind a pit of hissing vents and superheated mud. There are also tales of human error and the harsh consequences that follow. Guides always stress the importance of staying on the marked path. The ground in the Valley of Desolation can be a thin crust over a pocket of boiling mud or a jet of steam. There have been serious accidents where people have stepped off the trail and suffered horrific burns. The experience of visiting these places leaves a permanent mark on you. I remember my own journey to a boiling lake. The sheer sensory overload is something you never forget. The roar of the boiling water, the thick sulfurous air that catches in your throat, and the intense heat that you can feel radiating onto your skin. It's a full-body experience that makes you feel incredibly alive and acutely aware of your own vulnerability. You realize that you are in a place where nature, not man, is in complete control. People who complete the trek to Dominica's boiling lake often describe it as a life-changing experience. At the end of the day, covered in mud and sweat, you don't just have photos, you have a story. While Dominica's boiling lake and New Zealand's Frying Pan Lake are the most famous, they are not the only places on Earth where the water bubbles with geothermal heat. Our planet is dotted with these incredible hotspots, each with its own unique character and story. In the incredible volcanic landscapes of Iceland, a country built by fire and ice, you can find numerous hot springs and bubbling mud pots. Places like the Gunavir geothermal area are a chaotic symphony of roaring steam vents and pools of boiling clay-rich water. Another fascinating location is in the Danakil Depression in Ethiopia, one of the hottest, driest, and lowest places on Earth. It's often called one of the most alien-looking landscapes on our planet. Here, you'll find the boiling lake at Dalol. It's not a single large lake but a series of vibrant, bubbling pools. The water is highly acidic and saturated with salt and minerals, which paint the landscape in breathtaking shades of fluorescent yellow, bright green, and rusty orange. Even in the United States, you can witness this incredible geothermal power. Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming sits atop a massive supervolcano, and the entire park is a geothermal wonderland. The Grand Prismatic Spring, for example, is a massive hot spring renowned for its rainbow-like colors, created by different species of heat-loving bacteria living in the progressively cooler water around its edges. These sites around the world, from the remote highlands of Iceland to the scorching deserts of Ethiopia, all tell the same story. They are direct connections to the immense heat engine that powers our planet. Each one is a unique expression of this power, shaped by the local geology, climate, and chemistry. They are wild, dangerous, and beautiful places that command our respect and ignite our curiosity to explore the hidden corners of our world. With great power comes great danger, and boiling lakes are some of the most hazardous natural environments you can encounter. The most obvious danger is, of course, the water itself. It's not just hot, it's scalding, boiling, and often highly acidic. Falling in would be instantly fatal, but the dangers extend far beyond the water's edge. The ground surrounding these lakes is notoriously unstable. It can be a thin, fragile crust of rock and minerals hiding a cavern of boiling mud or a high-pressure steam vent just beneath. Another hidden danger is the air you breathe. These geothermal areas are constantly releasing a cocktail of volcanic gases from the Earth's interior. The most common is hydrogen sulfide, which creates that strong smell of rotten eggs. While unpleasant in high concentrations, it can be toxic. An even greater threat is carbon dioxide. It's a colorless, odorless gas that is heavier than air. It can collect in low-lying areas and hollows near the lake, displacing the oxygen. An unsuspecting person or animal could wander into one of these invisible gas pockets and suffocate without even realizing what is happening. The entire ecosystem is also under threat from a much larger, more catastrophic danger: a volcanic eruption. Boiling lakes are surface features of active volcanic systems. A change in the pressure and magma movement below could trigger a phreatic eruption, a violent, explosive steam blast. For all these reasons, approaching a boiling lake requires immense preparation and caution. You must go with experienced local guides who understand the terrain and the warning signs. Respecting the dangers is the first and most important step to experiencing their wonder safely. So what can we learn from these incredible steaming cauldrons? They are more than just geological curiosities or extreme adventure destinations. They are powerful teachers, offering us profound lessons about our planet and our place within it. First and foremost, they teach us humility. When you stand before a lake that is boiling with the Earth's internal heat, you are confronted with a power that is far beyond human control. These lakes also give us a unique window into the conditions that may have existed on early Earth when the planet was hotter and more volcanically active. The tiny microbes that thrive in these scalding, chemical-rich waters are modern relatives of some of the first life forms to ever exist. This knowledge doesn't just help us understand our own past, it also guides our search for life on other planets and moons in our solar system, which may harbor similar extreme conditions beneath their surfaces. Furthermore, these geothermal systems are a source of immense potential. The same heat that makes these lakes boil can be harnessed as a powerful and clean energy source. Geothermal energy taps into the Earth's natural heat to generate electricity and provide heating for homes. Countries like Iceland, which are rich in volcanic activity, already get a significant portion of their power this way. They inspire us to find innovative ways to work with nature's power, rather than just fighting against it. In the end, the greatest lesson from the boiling lakes is one of respect. Respect for the power of nature, for the delicate balance of ecosystems, and for the spirit of adventure that pushes us to explore these wild places. They show us a side of our planet that is wild, untamed, and incredibly beautiful. They are a call to the wild that lives in all of us, a reminder to keep exploring, to keep learning.